I spent 48 hours and hundreds of dollars on the world's most powerful AI model, Claude Fable 5, to answer one question: how can I reduce my token usage? However, what I uncovered actually shocked me because Claude Fable 5 was able to optimize my workflow and reduce my token usage by up to 85%. Welcome back to another how-to AI video. I'm Doobie, and the very first thing that I recommend you do, and Claude Fable 5 would never tell you to do this, but see that routine button right there? Yep. Click that and schedule a routine 2 to 3 hours before you start a session. Because 9 out of 10 times, the problem is never hitting the weekly usage limits, I just keep hitting my hourly limit. So by setting up a scheduled task 2 to 3 hours before you start working, you can line it up in a way so that as you're reaching your hourly limit, it actually resets and you get a fresh 5-hour usage limit. If you thought that was helpful, we're literally just getting started because I bumped Claude Fable 5 to Ultra Code and fed it hundreds of hours of my vibe coding sessions, and I'm not even kidding. This prompt ran for an hour and a half, spawned multiple subagents to run isolated tests, and what came back was actually pretty mid. I'm not even gonna lie to you right now, a lot of generic start new chats for new topics, batch ask your questions, or match the model and effort level to the task. And don't get me wrong, there's definitely some good tips in here, but this isn't really what I'm looking for. Remember the days when you could just prompt to your heart's content, not having to worry about some random 47-step token saving ritual? I'm lazy, and so are you. No one wants to remember these intricate prompting methods. So I'm gonna set a new ground rule. Every single optimization has to be simple and passive, so my monkey brain can actually implement these tips in hopes to bring a slither of the good old days of endless happy prompting back. Now, the moment I made this rule, I instantly realized that I screwed up because I should have never used Ultra Code in the first place. You see, Claude Fable 5 is a massive leap from previous models, but the difference between the effort levels is actually quite minimal compared to what you're spending. With Ultra Code only getting a small 0.9% bump in intelligence while costing a whopping 50% more than the next best effort. Turns out you can actually just use medium effort, which still gives you a huge boost from other models while only costing you 60 cents more than Opus 4.8 Max. And when I introduced my new ground rule to Claude Fable 5 at medium effort, the first thing it recommended was skills. And of course, how could I forget? Skills are literally the perfect version of what I'm looking for. They're passive, they sit in the background, they're literally perfect. And with the power of Claude Fable at my fingertips, I had a thought. Why don't I just scrape the internet for the most popular token saving skills and ask Claude a simple question: can you make these better? Except there was one problem. One thing you run into really fast once you start building AI agents that browse the internet is websites eventually just start blocking you. Because if your agent is scraping hundreds of pages from one IP address, eventually websites detect that and treat you like a bot. This is exactly what happened when I asked Claude to scrape the internet for the most popular token saving skills. So I used Data Impulse to fix this. They basically let your agents rotate through different IP addresses across 195 different locations. So instead of looking like one machine spamming requests, your requests are actually distributed across locations and your workflows stay reliable at scale. So now my Claude agents can keep scraping the web for popular token saving skills without constantly getting rate limited. And they have a really neat pricing structure. Residential proxies start at just $1 per gigabyte with pay-as-you-go pricing, and unused traffic doesn't even expire. They've also got over 90 million IPs, and you can manage the whole thing straight from your mobile device. If you're building AI agents or workflows that need reliable web access at scale, check out Data Impulse. I'll leave a link below. Now that we've successfully scraped the web to find the most popular token saving skills, let's get Claude Fable to enhance them. At the top of our list, we have the Caveman skill, a Claude skill that went viral on Reddit when a user commented a 75% reduction in their token usage. No, seriously, this skill went so viral that it is currently the second most upvoted post on the Claude subreddit. The concept is simple. Claude sends you these massive paragraph answers when usually a couple words would suffice, making it sound, well, like a caveman. And if it wasn't so obvious from the M dash in the description or the emojis in the code, I'd bet money that this skill was actually generated with AI. So what better AI to enhance it than Claude Fable Ultra Code? I mean Medium. So that's exactly what I did along with some other popular Claude skills, and the results actually shocked me. Because the first thing Fable noticed was that the token saving skill was kind of just wasting my tokens. The original file was 3.3 kilobytes and a huge chunk of it was this weird classical Chinese compression mode claiming 80 to 90% savings with basically no proof. And remember, skills get loaded into Claude's context, so before Caveman saved a single token, it was already charging me rent.
Bruh.
And to make matters worse, Caveman would save tokens, but only if it actually turns on. In our test, vanilla Claude used 4,729 output tokens, Caveman manually activated used 4,223. But if installed normally, it actually used 400 more tokens than vanilla Claude. Because unless you say Caveman mode explicitly, it may not even activate at all. After removing the classical Chinese mode from the skill, we were able to reduce the file size by 50%. We also made it safer and always on by default, leading to a total improvement of around 13%. With the additional skills we enhanced, we were able to get around a 30% stacked reduction. Now, if you were to add everything I've mentioned in this video so far, you'd already be saving a lot on your token usage. But hold on, because I'm still yet to share my biggest breakthrough. You see, as we were testing the skills, I actually realized something. There are so many variables. Like what you use Claude for is completely different to what I use it for. Everyone's usage looks different. So I thought to myself, what if there was a way for everyone watching to have a custom optimized workflow tailored to them? What would that look like? Well, the answer that I landed on was this little thing. Meet UsageWidget, my free and open source solution. If you've ever watched me vibe code before, you'll notice I'm constantly checking my usage limit.
All right, what's our Claude usage at? Is this coming out of my usage? How much that took in usage? I've given it a single prompt. I'm just cautious of our token usage. What are we at? I keep checking, man.
Claude Fable thinks that because usage limits are behind 3 clicks, I'm less exposed to the expense, and therefore I'm more likely to spend willy-nilly. I mean, think about it. This is the exact same psychology that casinos use, except instead of tokens, they give you chips. Because you don't see how much money you actually have in front of you, you're more likely to spend them. So I built this widget. Yes, in 2026, we are still talking about widgets, but now you can easily see how much usage limit you got left. But checking your usage limit isn't all that this thing actually does. The magic is actually inside. Claude Fable 5 has over-engineered the shit out of this thing. Not only does it have all the enhanced skills in a library here for you to download, but it also keeps track of your token spend across multiple sessions, collecting up to 30 days worth of valuable data. Then you can just export that information as a .md file and feed it directly into Claude. Don't worry about giving Claude a prompt either, because it's already built into the file. Claude will analyze the file and provide you with super practical feedback, as well as an estimate on how much you could have saved, helping create a custom plan tailored for you to optimize your token usage. Now, I also need to mention this tool is in beta and it only works if you use Claude in the terminal or on a third-party tool like Conductor or Cursor. So if you love using the Claude app, then unfortunately this tool isn't going to work. I'd recommend switching over to the terminal just for a little bit so the widget can collect data on you. And then once you've done a few sessions, you can export the usage report and switch back to the app. And if you're looking for more tips on how to reduce your token usage, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there. Peace.